Hi everyone, Arlene here. Welcome back to my country craft corner. Oh, yucky, ducky. It's not right, you all. Oh my gracious. Anyway, that's gonna have to do. Hi everyone. Hi everyone, Arlene here. Welcome back to my country craft corner. How in the world are you guys doing today? It is so good to see you again, and thank you so much for stopping back by to see what I'm up to. Obviously, I'm a little discombobulated today. Hopefully, this wreath that I'm fixing to make for you guys will go a little easier than that intro did. Goodness gracious. Anyway, as I just referred to, I'm here to make a Deco mesh wreath today. This is an easy peasy wreath, you guys. This would be the perfect craft for the beginning wreath maker or the beginning funky bow maker too. I'm gonna make a funky bow out of all the same kind of ribbon in this one, you guys, and I will do a tutorial. So for those of you who don't want to sit through the funky bow tutorial, you can skip to minute mark this, and that will take us to where I'm fixing to start putting the Deco mesh on the wreath frame. So again, minute mark this will take you right through the funky bow tutorial. So for those of you who want to stick around and watch the funky bow oh my goodness, you guys, funky bow tutorial, let's get started. Fingers crossed this goes all right, you guys. I don't know. I already cut up all the ribbon. Here it is. I'm going to be using buffalo check. And before I go any further, let me show you what I have for this wreath. It's not too much. I have a wreath form. I got this at Hobby Lobby right after Christmas. You can see here. It was 90% off, I believe, you guys. That's when I kind of stock up on my wreath forms. So this is a 16-inch work wreath for use with Deco mesh or burlap, either one. So that's what I'm going to be using as my wreath form. This wreath is going to hang outside on my light post going up my sidewalk. I'm going to use this Deco mesh. Again, I bought this after Christmas. You can see it's Maker's Holiday Decorative Mesh, 21 inches by 30 feet. This should be plenty. This one roll should be plenty to go around this wreath form a couple of times, and probably a third time, and I'll show you what I mean. So that's going to be the backdrop for this wreath. Of course, the bow is going to be out of buffalo check, and then I'm simply going to take two of these tufts of flowers and turn them on one another, and we are going to make just a pretty swag with the funky bow in the middle. And that's it to go along with this sign. This sign's going to hang right down in the middle. So it's your time to bloom. So that is all that's going to be on this wreath. Again, a perfect wreath for a beginning wreath maker. This is an easy peasy way to start a wreath. So I wanted to show you how to dovetail here. And I had to reteach myself how to dovetail. And this is just one piece of ribbon here, and I'm just going to dovetail both ends at the same time. Just fold it in half, put those two ends together, then fold those two ends kind of lengthwise. Go to the fold and cut down toward the edge. And that gives your ribbon a nice finished edge that we here in the crafting world call a dovetail. But you don't have to do that if you don't want. I know some people curl up the ends of their ribbon. Some of them leave them just plain. You know, some do other things. It just depends on what your preference is. Okay, I'm going to make me a 9-loop funky bow. And as I said, I'm going to use all the same ribbon. So I've got 9 pieces of ribbon cut here at 24 inches long each. So that means with each loop, with each piece of ribbon is going to be 1 loop in the bow. So for each loop, I fold it in half, just like that. And then I'm going to go to my measuring stick here, and I'm going to measure out about 6 inches. And then I'm going to pinch it together right at that point. And that gives me a 6-inch loop and 6-inch tails when I make the strips 24 inches. I'm going to go to that back tail and I'm going to twist it around. Even though this looks like two-sided ribbon, I always go to that back tail and twist it around. Put you guys up a little higher here. So I'm going to make my way all the way through this ribbon. I don't have them in any kind of pattern like I usually do because they're all the same color. And all I'm going to do is every time I add a loop in, you can see I turn that loop down the opposite direction from where I put the first one, down from center. Think of my thumb as the center of the bow. So I put this next loop down from center. Twist that back tail again. Next one, 6 inches, and point that loop up from center. Every time with a 9 loop funky bow, every time you add a loop in, you're going to turn that loop the opposite direction of the time before. I do have a funky bow cheat sheet. I will put a link to my blog where you can find the PDF. Turn it the opposite direction this time, accordion it in, pile them in side by side like that, as opposed to up on top of one another. Try to keep it side by side as best you can. I let this ribbon kind of slide back into the crook of my fingers, and I don't hold it extremely tight. I kind of let up on it a little bit, which helps with the cramping. Okay, next loop. Again, fold it right in half. Go to 6 inches. Point that loop up from center this time. And twist. And this one, fold it in half, 6 inches, point that loop down from center, and twist. Inches up from center, and twist. I didn't get me a pipe cleaner. I'm gonna have to go and retrieve one. 6 inches, point it down from center, twist. Whoops, yanked on that a little hard. And the last one, point that loop up from center. Go over here and grab me a pipe cleaner. Take a pipe cleaner, have a silver one here, and I lay it over beside my thumb. Kind of try to find the center as best you can beside my thumb. Pull the bottom around the bottom and the top around the top. Get your fingers, these fingers, up as close to the bow as you can. Squeeze that bow really tight and twist, twist, twist. I twist the bow and the pipe cleaner. You twist whatever you want. I think it makes it tighter to do both. You don't need that anymore. So there we go. It's kind of a hot mess right now, isn't it? But the most important part of any bow is the fluffing. So you just start fluffing. Get your hand in every single loop. Make it big and bold and gorgeous. Let those tails fly where they will. But just make sure you put your hand on every single loop. There's 9 of them. You need to yank on some of them that may have gotten a little shorter on you. Feel free to do that. But there we go. That, my friends, is a pretty bow made out of all the same buffalo check ribbon. I love it. That is going to be pretty. All right, now let's start making the Deco mesh part of this wreath. Let me open this up. do my Deco mesh and burlap wreaths a little different than other people. This is just the way I taught myself how to do it. It doesn't make it right or wrong. It's just the way I taught myself how to do it, and I've always done it. I'm going to pull my wreath frame over here, form over here. I kind of took a little bit of time to put all the chenille ties kind of up in the air so that I can see where they are. I'm going to take my Deco mesh and I'm going to let it drop to the floor. And I'm going to take the end of it and I'm going to kind of accordion it together. And Deco mesh, just be prepared. It wants to have a mind of its own. You have to kind of muscle it into place. Most people start their, or create their Deco mesh or burlap wreaths with the form this way. I don't. I do it this way. So again, it's just the way I do it and the way I've always liked to do it, and you guys do it. Either way, it doesn't matter. I'm just more comfortable with it this way. So accordion it together, then lay it down in one of these chenille ties and twist it shut. Give it a good couple of twists. And then I just tuck that back behind. Some people will tie wrap this on to the wreath form. And I can certainly do that just to hold that part into place. Don't necessarily have to, but won't hurt anything. Trust me, you're not going to see it. There we go. Now, I make my wreaths in a looping fashion, so I want to take this Deco mesh. It also grabs your tops or your pants, so just be prepared. So to make your loop, again, you pull it out about, I go about 11 to 12 inches. You can measure. How'd I do? I'm right about 11 and a half, 12 inches. Back it up and put it in your next available chenille tie. Tuck it in there and twist that chenille tie shut. Okay, and you're going to work your way all the way around the outer ring of the wreath form. I think it's important to try to keep your Deco mesh kind of straight. Don't let it twist around. But there we go, and that's about 12 inches. I can pretty much eyeball it, you guys. I've done enough of these. Anyway, tuck it down in there and twist that shut. And I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to work my way around the outer edge, and then I'm going to come back and show you how to transition over to the inner, around the outer ring. And then when I get back over here, I'm going to show you how to transition over to the inner ring. But right now I'm going to put you into fast motion because I don't want this video to be 500 years long. So, fixing to go to my next chenille tie. Again, pulling it out straight, measuring about 12 inches, backing it up, and snugging it down in there. All right, I'll be right back when I make it all the way around the outer ring.
All right.
Okay, here I am back around to the very first chenille tie, and I'm going to go ahead and make one more loop on the outer ring. And I'm going to go ahead and snug it down in with this into the same chenille tie. I'm not going to undo it because I'm not putting anything else in these ties. Sometimes if you're putting other things in there, like tying ribbons in or something like that, which I'm not going to do with this, you can undo it so that it gives you more room, but untwist it. You don't have to. And I'm telling you, I'm not even going to worry about hiding the silver chenille ties either, because it's just going to flow right into this wreath. Okay, we're going to transition over to the inner ring, And what you do is you get your hand, see this stuff, I'll tell you, you have to set your mouth right with this stuff. It's sticky and it drives me crazy. So anyway, you pull your Deco mesh all the way over and you want to tie it in to the next available chenille tie on the inner ring. In other words, this is the closest inner ring that I have to where I ended on the outer ring. So I'm going to snug it down in there just tight like that. Twist it together. So now I'm going to work it around the inner ring in the same fashion as I did the outer ring. Pulling it out to about 12 inches, backing up and snugging it down in that chenille tie. Do that all the way around. And I'll be back when I get around. Alrighty, here I am back to the very first chenille tie where I started, the inner ring. I'm going to pull it out again, 12 inches. Back it up. And I am going to untwist it once or twice here and add it in to that chenille tie. Just like that. I think that is fine, but I have a good bit left, so I'm going to see if I can go around a third time just to add a little bit more girth to it, and I'm just going to alternate going to the outer ring. Again, making them, I would make them about 13 inches long this time, just to go up and over, 13 or 14 inches, just to go up and over. Hopefully I'll have enough at about 13 inches. I'm going to go to that outer ring first, since I just ended on the inner ring. This doesn't really do anything other than just to add a little bit of something to it. Now I'm going to turn and come back and go to the inner ring again, making it pretty, giving myself pretty good amount of material. Again, I'll have enough. Come back out. And I'm going to work my way around. I'll be right back when I'm ready to tie it all in. Alrighty, you guys, I made it all the way around, but I did make what I, uh-oh, Sam's barking, hang on. Chris has got it. If I had a little bit more, I'd go one more loop. I would go one more, but I don't have enough, so we're gonna go with it like this. So I made all the way around except for like this little area right here, but that's okay. Look how big and flouncy that puppy is. Put this up a little bit. Okay, now I just want to take a little bit of time to do a little bit of fluffing. It's pretty fluffed as it is, as you can see, but just kind of a little bit of fluffing. And let me put it up on my little easel here that I got, by the way. Everybody always asks me where I got this. I got this at Hobby Lobby. It is just like a picture easel. And I noticed somebody had a nail drilled into theirs or up on top, which is really a good idea, and we haven't done that. But I'll tell you, it's not a bad idea to go ahead and do that. For now, I'm just gonna kind of stick it down over that little piece back there, because this is a very lightweight wreath. So let me see. first of all, I want to put this on there. So I'm just going to tie this in to the chenille tie up top there. I think I might like to twist it. And just tie this in. Oh boy, of course I choose a chenille tie that isn't wonderful, but the one thing good about using this size of chenille tie is I can put it right through the chain that is on this sign. I'll show you here in a second. Strung that through the chain on the sign. Oh, come on, don't mess up my shirt here. And tie that together. And there we go. I think that's gonna work. All right, now the next thing and the easiest thing for this wreath is I'm gonna take 2 tufts of these flowers. I've got me some cable ties, and all I'm going to do, and take the price tag off of them, all I'm going to do is turn them end for end on one another, just like that. And I really don't want all the greenery, so I'm actually going to cut this down a little bit. I really am more interested in seeing more of the flowers. I'm going to cut the these stems down a bit. Look out. And I want these pretty tight on one another like that. Now you can always move the stems to tie them together, and I'm going to use several, probably 3 or 4, just to tie these together. Actually a couple. And then I'm going to wrap my bow right to the center. And put a tie wrap into the pipe cleaner, through the pipe cleaner in the back. And then I'm going to tie the bow. Well, it might help to get it through. There we go. I'm going to tie the bow onto the swag. Just like that. And then I'm going to take another couple tie wraps. I'll fix that when I get it on. And I'm going to tie it right on to the rung of this wreath. Let me do that, and we'll hang it up and do a little fluffing all around with this. We'll do a couple here. I'm just putting the tie wrap right through and under the stems, between the bow and the swag. See that? And then I'm just going to position it on here, right about like that. And I'm going to take the tie wraps, put them through around the outer ring, maybe. There we go. See that? And I'm going to catch them. Hold her on there tight. Hey everyone, how are y'all doing? I am morphing in here with some footage. Y'all, I was not happy with that end result that you just saw. No, I wasn't. I even went so far as to do my final words, and I hung it outside, and I took a bunch of pictures of it, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it. It was too stark white on the bottom and too much floral and bow on the top. So I've decided to do just a couple more things to this wreath to bring it up to where I think it should be. One thing is to add, I have literally one tuft of my maidenhair fern left, just one. Well, I've got one for the mailbox and I've got one left over, and that's all I have, you guys. So I'm going to add this to it, and then I've cut some strips of the, I don't have any more florals, and I don't have any more florals that'll match this. But I think with the green on it, and then I'm going to add buffalo check strips in some of the chenille ties to pull it in, and I'm going to hang it a little differently. I don't want to hang it with the bow right in the middle. I'm going to cock it like that makes my eyes happy all the time. I'm going to cock it to the side, and I'm going to hang the sign a little differently. So come along with me while I tweak this brand new wreath that I was not happy with. So again, I wanted to go ahead and show you all of this footage, you guys, just to go to show you, it just goes to show you that I'm not perfect. I don't always have the perfect ideas and all of that. And there are times when I finish some of these projects when I just go, well, you know, and so that's what I did with this. And I kept looking at him like, Chris, I'm taking that wreath back down. He says, you just got finished. I said, I don't like it. It's driving me crazy. It's driving me crazy. It keeps me up nights, you guys. It keeps me up. I'm not even kidding. I was up all night thinking about this, thinking, what can I do with that? What can I do? So this is what I've decided to do. So let me point my camera down and I'll show you, and we'll go through a couple of steps here. I might speed through some of it because I've told you what I'm going to do, but I went and grabbed myself some tie wraps. So here we go. Oh. There's the wreath. And I'm going to hang it, instead of this right at the top, instead of all of this right at the top. Wait, I put you down too far, sorry. It was just too much. And look at the difference. I mean, when you look at that, look at the top and then look at the white. And it's just not, it actually almost hurts my eyes like that, y'all. It really and truly does. So instead of hanging it like that on the light post, I'm going to hang it cocked like I like, and I'm going to add this up into it and separate this into two and bring some this way and some down this way, and then I'm going to hang the sign over here, and then I'm going to add in some buffalo check strips. So we'll see how that works. You guys, let me back up, get my shoes back on. I kicked my shoes off. I was a mess here trying to get this the way I wanted it to go. But I am very happy with it now. Much, much, much happier. I even cut some of the Deco mesh off, you guys. I really tweaked this thing. I just wasn't happy with it at all. So I just went at this thing with a vengeance. So as you can see, I added the green maidenhair fern on, and I tied it in, and I took little sprigs of it and tied it into the tie wraps. I took some more of my buffalo check ribbon. Thank goodness I had gotten 50 yards from Amazon, because I've used almost all of it in this decor. I mean, I really have. And I cut 12-inch strips, and I made it in groups of 3 and dovetailed the ends, and I stuck them in sporadically in just where the chenille ties are. And I stuck one up here and one within the flowers there, and then I added a couple of tails to the bow. And I tied the ribbon on, or the sign back on, only in a little different way, and I tilted it. And that made me happy. My eyes are happy now. much, 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 much happier. But you know, what can you do? What do you do? You know, when you see something like this, I'm like, gee whiz, I created this thing, I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna go out and hang it on my light post, and then I'll take a couple of final pictures of it out there. I'm much, 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 much happier with it now. Whew. Boy, and I'm relieved. And maybe I can sleep tonight. Oh my gracious. Anyway, I know we had a lot of fast motion of me just tweaking this thing. I didn't want to bore you guys with all of that when it was just me cutting ribbon and putting it into, it really was not hard. It was just me wanting to make it so that my eyes would be happy. Anyway, all right. I'm going to close this one out now, except for some final pictures after my final words. I'll show you, of course, where it's, you know, how it looks out on the light post. So let me just say that I hope that all is well with everyone. And I hope that for those of you struggling or suffering with a catastrophic illness or chronic pain, that you have someone there with you, taking care of you, helping you get through each day, making the very, very best out of each day. I hope you don't have anything weighing on your minds or your hearts, pulling your attention away from where you want it to be or where it should be. I love y'all to bits, to bits, to bits, hugs all around. And I keep you in my thoughts and my prayers every single day. And with all of that said, I'll just say, until next time, y'all take good, good care. Bye-bye.